Hello and welcome back to Rep Sports. I'm Rahul Giri and joined by Bharat Ramraj. And India, after a bright start against Wales at the Hockey World Cup, Indian men's hockey team now have stumbled against England. The same England, against whom both the games during the Pro League went into the shootout. But today, actually, it was a tale of two halves. The first half, obviously, India were impressive, but India were totally unmatched in front of England in the second half, and England dominated last two quarters to snatch 4-2 victory over Indian men's team. Bharat, first question, obviously, what do you think went wrong for India?
I guess you only explained in a gist by saying that it was a game of two halves. In the first half or the first two quarters, India was definitely the better side, and in the next two quarters, England was clearly the better side, and that is where. It's actually in the third quarter, at the start of the third quarter, even during the start of the third quarter, India seemed to have a slight advantage. But after 4 or 5 minutes of play during the third quarter, actually, the couple of commentators were even saying India seemed to have a little more flow, but suddenly from nowhere it changed. And obviously, first of all, I have to give credit to the Indian team for the way they have made a comeback. We already talked about a player called Bandrak, again showed his class, clinical finishing, especially
True.
the third goal. I think it was the third goal. There's a very clinical finish from him. So you have to give it to England and Bandrak for the way they made a comeback. But India, I think, just took the foot off the pedal somewhere in the third quarter, and after that, they couldn't get the momentum back at all. Obviously, Nilakanta, I would say, made a rather basic error. If I want to put it in a straightforward manner, I don't want to use such words for professional players, but it felt like a basic error where he tried to take the ball that was aerial. So it was basically an error that was not needed, and after that, it was always going to be tough for the Indian team when he got that card. So yeah, it is a kind of performance that India have to put behind and look forward to. I know, understand all this when it comes to second round, everything is carried forward. So India are now very much at a disadvantage, but they have no other choice. Somehow erase it from their minds and just move forward.
Absolutely, and I agree with Bharat, with Nilkanta, because I think he should have avoided that card because he actually left India with just 10 men at a crucial junction. In the last quarter, India actually needed to be, with a full-fledged squad, but Nilkanta, that yellow card actually proved costly for India. India considered another goal as well, and which had India had no answer for that goal from England team. But not only that mistake by Nilkanta, another mistake was made by India. It was Dilpreet who took one review towards the dying minute of the game, but that was totally unnecessary because it was clearly visible that was not foul by England defender on Dilpreet, but Dilpreet still he took that review, and because of that, India couldn't take a review towards the dying minute of the game during some crucial decision. So obviously, India need to be more disciplined, going into the later stages of the tournament. But Bharat, your thoughts on defense of India? I mean, the way England scored field goal as well against India. Do you think with this kind of defense, India can really match teams like Netherlands or Argentina at the later stages of the tournament?
Yeah, someone like Fulton would be very unhappy with it because he's someone who bases it on defense. We saw it even in the Pro League, right at the end of the Pro League. He was trying to base it on defense. He had a kind of double layer defense in one of the matches. So he would be very extremely unhappy. As I noted, it was somewhere in the third quarter, maybe after 4 or 5 minutes of the third quarter. That is where India just took the foot off the pedal. In modern day hockey, fast paced hockey, if you lose momentum, suddenly you just perhaps can't make a comeback. That's what basically happened with the Indian team. There were kind of spaces everywhere. India looked dispirited, and they couldn't keep their disciplines up right through that third quarter and fourth quarter. Again, you have to give it to England for playing a high press game, for finding those gaps in the defense. But yes, India's defense was very much, what can I say, downbeat somewhere in the third quarter and fourth quarter. If you want to add a few words on kind of mistakes that India made in the last couple of quarters.
I think Harmanpreet post-match comment sum it up the whole performance of Indian men's hockey team. Actually, he said after the match that without the ball, we did some silly mistake. Analyzing the turnover by Amit Rohidash for England first goal and defensive lapses that led to the short corners in the final quarter. So it tells the whole story. To be honest, in the first two quarter, actually, it was a brilliant show by India, trailing by one goal. The way India actually made comeback. First, Harmanpreet again another superb drag flick from captain Harmanpreet Singh. Then that goal from Dilpreet as well. That also a positive sign because India scored from open play. Because in the first game, India scored all the three goals from the penalty corner, but today there was one open play goal as well for India. So that's another positive. But again, against Wales also, if you notice, in the last quarter, somehow India dropped the intensity. India were looking out of the game. They were allowing Wales into the game. And today, actually, the same thing happened after the break. India were totally unmatched in front of England. England kept on dominating, but India had no answer. Against Pakistan, I don't think it would be that difficult for India. By the way, keeping an eye on another game, Wales and Pakistan, they played out 3-all draw, dramatic 3-all draw. So that means England now top Pool D, followed by India with 3 points, then Pakistan and Wales with 1 point each. So in the final group stage will be interesting. India need to beat Pakistan to seal their place in the second group stage. It won't be that difficult for India against Pakistan, but again, it's second group stage where India will be facing some heavyweight nation. There, if India keep on doing this kind of mistakes, then it will be proved costly for Indian team. But Bharat, how good was England, especially Nicholas Bandurak scoring two goals?
Yeah, they have been a gritty side in the recent past, especially after the heartbreak at the Paris Olympics against the Indian team. You know what exactly happened in that particular match. Anyway, England have been quite gritty in the recent past, and that is what they basically showed. As one noted, the last couple of quarters, you saw that kind of a high press game. They were kind of very disciplined in terms of the defense as well. So the defensive structure was quite disciplined as well. So yes, at the right time, they found those gears, and we have to give a lot of credit to Bandrak first of all. Sabah, I think, yeah, he's not young as he was over 30 years now, but I think he's come through the ranks really well. He's very gutsy, obviously athletic, and very unhurried finishing. That's what I would say. Very clinical finishing. He doesn't really panic, and that is why I think he can also get those field goals out. Very unhurried, and that's what we basically noticed today as well. So yes, overall it was a brilliant show from them. You know, one of those players, I think it is, if I'm not mistaken, Sam Bard. Yes, lost one of his eyes, or in
Yeah.
one of his eyes, he's lost most of the vision. He's still playing. That tells you that.
Wow.
Yeah, it is. I think it was in a match against Malaysia, maybe somewhere in 2019. In an incident, he lost most of the vision in one of his eyes, and is still playing for the England team. So it's a gutsy side. Uh, I always thought that it was going to be a close one between India and England, but my gut feel somewhere told that maybe India would have a slight edge. Hands up, I was wrong on that. In the first couple of quarters, it felt as if it was the case, but after that, full credit to the England team for playing the kind of high intensity press game that we saw from them.
Absolutely. And, you have to give credit to the way actually England plays, not only at this World Cup, but, in the Pro League, then in the Olympic also, when we see the game of Great Britain, it's kind of different game, not that disciplined or defensively organized or organized attacking play. They just play dirty hockey, not that much organized game. But anytime in the game you will see suddenly they will destroy your defense with a sudden attack, just like that Henry Croft scored the goal. The way suddenly a long ball into the box and just a deflection from Henry Croft, and Mohit HS had no option to stop, just to watch that goal find the back of the net. So that kind of game actually England play, whether in any tournament, in World Cup or Olympics or wherever you say. So obviously it's very difficult to stop teams like England because they always comes as a surprise for them. But again, Bharat, another interesting stat as well. It has been 32 years. India have not defeated England at the World Cup. Last time they defeated England was in 1994. So that's quite interesting. So what do you think is the difference between England and India in the near future? Do you think India can, with this now again the resurgence of Hockey India League and also the kind of investment in hockey, do you think India can really match the intensity of teams like England, Netherlands, or Argentina in the near future?
Yeah, first of all, that stat surprised me a little bit in the sense that India have played well against England in some other tournaments. It could be Olympics, obviously, recently. It could be even
Yeah.
somewhere in the Commonwealth Games a few times. So that surprised me a little bit. Yes, I watched that. I have some faint memories of the 1994 World Cup. It's a bit of a surprising stat because usually it's very close between India and England whenever they play against each other. Uh, yes, in the future, near future, India have to obviously look at as we noted, they can't take the foot off the pedal somewhere in the third quarter or in the fourth quarter. They did it against Wales. I thought that they won't be. They won't be a little more ruthless against a team like England because it's a much stronger side than Wales, but it wasn't the case. Actually, even the women's team, yes, they drew a game against China, but even they yesterday, if you notice, they slightly took the foot off the pedal right at somewhere at the back end of that match. So it's something that both the women's team and the men's team have to look at going forward, because in modern day hockey, when you're playing bigger teams, especially if you're going to play somewhere Belgium or some other big team, then if you do that, it needn't be 4-2, it could be 1-6-2. So India have to be careful with regard to that. They have to maintain their intensity levels for much longer.
Absolutely, and we should also talk about another goal scorer for India in today's game, that is Dilpreet Singh. He was part of that India squad that actually won bronze in Tokyo, but after that, there was a decline in his form. He missed out on squad from Paris Olympic as well, but again now he has made a comeback into India's squad and he scored actually a crucial goal for Indian team, but ultimately India fell short. But still, there was an open play goal by Dilpreet, and he is a kind of serious poacher, inside deep. And his goal actually tells the whole story what kind of poacher he is and how dangerous he could be for the opponent inside the D. So that's a great story for Dilpreet Singh. But Bharat, up next, Pakistan. Do you think India going to face serious challenges from the Pakistan, or do you? I mean, I won't say walk in the park, but still, your expectation from the next challenge for India?
Obviously, you still have to go out there and play good match to win. But on paper, obviously, India will get the top billing in this game. They are the favorites. Just they should just not take the pressure that they're going to play against Pakistan. Let's bring out your best game, and then they should win against Pakistan. If a team is going to draw against Wales, then they are in some kind of trouble because with greatest respect to Wales, it's one of the weaker sides of this tournament. You expected Pakistan to at least come out on top against Wales, maybe by a goal margin or on those lines, but that was not the case. It's obviously we live in different times. The Pakistan team that I used to see somewhere in the 90s, not just even on cricket, even in hockey, it used to really frighten, scare the Indian fans a little bit.
I think it was hockey. I think it was hockey which was to initially define that rivalry between India and Pakistan, right?
Yes,
I
yes,
mean,
yes,
before cricket and
yes,
others.
yes, yes. Even in terms of hockey, yeah, started watching in '94. There was Shabaz Ahmad, Mansoor, the late Mansoor, the great goalkeeper, Zaman, Bajwa, who else? A little bit. I'm getting a little bit older. So yeah, these 4 or 5 names come to me. Kamran Ashraf, yes. So after that, obviously Sohail Abbas. You always used to get a little bit scared as an Indian sportsman when India would go up against them in a couple of sports. But that is like a bygone era. You have to go back to dinosaur era. Now it is very much different. You expect India to come out on top. You expect Harmanpreet to again get a couple of penalty corners away. Uh, I'm expecting a kind of maybe 3-0 or 3-1 victory or on those lines. But yes, you still have to go out there and perform. You can't win matches on paper. That's the only thing I will add. So hopefully, India will, if not their best game, hopefully India will at least play somewhere near their best, and that should be enough to beat Pakistan.
Absolutely, and also as per report, Pakistan is it been a is it's kind of disorganized state because their head coach is all set to leave the team after this World Cup because of there some structural flaws going on behind the scene, and as Bharat rightly mentioned, Pakistan at one time they were the dominant force in world hockey. They won the inaugural Hockey World Cup, and also Pakistan played a huge role actually in initiating this Hockey World Cup because previously hockey used to be only played at Olympics or Asian Games. Then Pakistan felt that there is a need of Hockey World Cup as well to increase the interest of the game, and that's when it started the Hockey World Cup. Pakistan won the inaugural edition, and also the rivalry actually continued between India and Pakistan in the world hockey. But somehow after the turn of decade, there was a sharp decline, in for Pakistan hockey, and now they really felt difficult to match the intensity of Indian team. So that's going to be, I think, an easy game for Indian team. But again, that remains to be seen whether this defeat against England will affect Indian team mentally or not. There is Paddy Afton, the mental conditioning coach, and he need to take care of the players in the best way possible before the later stages of this tournament. We have got one comment as well. I would request Bharat to take this comment. We are over dependent on PC and Harmanpreet. England scored 3 open play goals today, while we have only one across 2 matches. Couldn't even score open play goal against Wales. Need to play more open play goal. Bharat, your thoughts?
Yeah, you're asking about open play goals, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Score
Yeah,
three. Yeah,
yeah.
open play goals. Obviously, India have to look at it. As I noted, someone like Abhishek Nayan is someone who has that flair, who has that flamboyance, but she has not been at his absolute best. Yes, there was one moment somewhere in the third quarter, maybe, where it was your typical quintessential. It felt like that Abhishek Nayan when he went for that kind of reverse hits. But other than that, he's been a little bit quiet. Someone like Shidanan as well has not been at his absolute best. So India have to look at their forwards in that sense. Maybe somewhere in this tournament, Abhishek Nayan will be at his best, but it is 100% true
Yeah.
that India have missed out or not just Indian forwards have also missed out on opportunities. You can say in the game against Wales as well, Rajinder missed out a clear opportunity. So that is something that India definitely have to look at in the matches to come. Yes, Pakistan may not be a great opponent to come up against, but in the future matches when they go up against a bigger team, then definitely it will be something that India have to look at. As in your interview itself, Draper said that India tend to depend a lot on Harmanpreet's goals. So that itself encapsulates this very point.
Yeah, this World Cup is clearly showing, how reliant India is on Harmanpreet Singh. In the first game against Wales, Harmanpreet scored a brace in India's 3-1 victory over Wales. The only another goal actually came from, Sanjay. And today as well, out of 2 goals India scored, Harmanpreet scored one from the penalty corner. So India is very much reliant on Harmanpreet Singh and his penalty corners conversion, but other players also need to fire if India really need to have a realistic chance in the deeper stage of this tournament. Like uh, I think Abhishek is coming close to quite some opportunities, but again, he couldn't convert those chances today. But Abhishek, that was a nice pass for Dilpreet for the second goal of India. But again, Abhishek, then there is
It was
Mandeep,
Hardik.
then there is
I think
Lakra.
Hardik. Yeah, yeah. It was Hardik,
Yes,
Abhishek,
absolutely.
and yeah, Dilpreet. I think that was the trio that got that goal. Just wanted to add up on.
Exactly, exactly. I mean, Abhishek, then players like Lakra, then Mandip as well. I mean, they will have to fire. Today, also, again, another positive for India that Shukjit is back for India. He missed the first game due to some muscle injury and also his stick. There was some controversy regarding his stick, but today he is back with the Indian team. And against Pakistan, again, I think Pakistan won't be that difficult for India. Craig Fulton and his boys will get some space against Pakistan. But before the second stage, I mean, India need to address those areas of concern that actually were exposed by England in today's game. Another comment word just opened. I can't process. Actually, India played really bad today. We're struggling to score field goal. Almost same as what Anirban Banerjee said, which is probably that India is struggling to score field goals, and that has been a real problem not only at this World Cup but before this World Cup as well during the Pro League. If
I
you
don't think
see, India
India
have
played.
almost scored. Sorry,
Yeah,
Bharat.
I just wanted to say I don't think India played really bad in the first two quarters, but in the last two quarters they were
That's
really
true.
really bad. That's only that.
Exactly. And Nilkanta's yellow card, made more damage for actually Indian hockey team. But again, that is one problem that is very common for Indian hockey team. I mean, during the Pro League also, if you see out of 31 goals, I mean, since the start of 2026, 19 goals were scored from penalty corners for India. So that shows that this team is very much reliant on penalty corners. But India need to find a way to score, field goal as well when they can't convert those penalty corners. So that's it. That's our discussion on India versus England game. But tomorrow, our Indian women's team will take the pitch against South Africa. Bharat, what's your expectation from this game? After a brilliant draw against China, can our Indian women's team finally get a victory at this World Cup?
Yeah, if you look at the matchup, you feel that way. Just hopefully that they will play at their very best. The kind of what can is the kind of performance that we saw against China, especially the first couple of quarters. Again, it was not like India put up great performance right through all four quarters. That was the problem with the Indian women's team as well. Actually, they could have won that match against China. They were the better team for long periods. So again, it comes down to consistency, not just in one quarter or two quarters. In modern day hockey, if you just relax a little bit, from nowhere the opponent can come in and get it a couple of goals, two, three goals. Actually, yesterday we missed out on one player. That was Neha. I think she had a brilliant game yesterday as well. So hopefully she will also come good in the next game. And yes, India, as you know, has the experience, has enough experience. They have 4 or 5 players, over 200, maybe over 200 internationals. And yes, there are lots of some World Cup debutants as well. So it's a nice blend of youth and experience. And that performance against China would have boosted that confidence to some extent, although I still maintain the way India played in the first couple of quarters, it could have been a victory for the Indian team. So maybe somewhere the Indian management would be thinking that was a little bit of a missed opportunity to uh, to actually cause an upset or cause an upset the apple carts. But yes, this is a decent chance for India to come out on top in the next game.
Absolutely. So tomorrow eyes will be on Indian women's hockey team as they will be facing South Africa. Not going to be that difficult for Indian women's team the way they have started against China, but you never know. It could be a banana slip as well. But Indian women's team need to avoid that against South Africa. They started really well against China. Now they need to sustain that momentum against South Africa because in the final group stage they will have to face against England. England again, another heavyweight nation in the world hockey. For our Indian men's team, now they have stumbled against England, but they need to come back against Pakistan. And that's going to be another intense rivalry at this Hockey World Cup. So that's it for now. Thanks a lot, Bharat, for joining us, and also to all of our viewers for joining us and also commenting in our show. That's it for now. Again, see you in our next show.